Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Me, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. The Wano arc has come to an end, and now Luffy and the Straw Hats are setting off to a new, unknown adventure in search of the last, final road poneglyph that will lead them to the One Piece treasure trove. So although their next adventure is still unknown, throughout the work of One Piece, we may have still gotten some hints about the next destination that Luffy and his companions will go to in order to find the treasure. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Luffy's next goal, what island the Straw Hats will now go to, and what enemies they might run into in this next arc of One Piece. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel or even if you've been around for a bunch of videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like or even subscribe and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out and motivates us to make more content, and if you'd like to help us out in a bigger way, consider sharing your favorite video with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So my friends, with the end of this Wano arc, Luffy and the Straw Hats are now going to go to an island they don't know, just to see if they can get some more information about the last road poneglyph and where it may be, because it's necessary to know where it is so that the Straw Hats can find the location of the treasure that they have been searching for pretty much since the beginning of our story. The island that they're going to next has not been revealed yet, but with the appearance of Shanks near Wano, it may indicate that the island Luffy and his companions are going to now may be Elbaf. So let's talk about the reasons why we believe this unknown island that Luffy and the Straw Hats are going to may indeed be Elbaf. Currently, the Straw Hats have managed to find 3 out of the 4 road poneglyphs, the first one of which was found in Whale Tree Island that was located in Zou, and this was only after they managed to peacefully make friends with all of the citizens of Zou. The second one was in a treasure room in Totoland, and we saw half of the Straw Hats crew go to Whole Cake Island to rescue Sanji, but during that mission, the rest came across the road poneglyph that Big Mom owned, enabling them to get information from another piece of the One Piece map. And the third road poneglyph they managed to obtain was recently in Wano. Of course, this was after saving the country, and Kozuki Sukiyaki revealed his identity to Nico Robin, and then showed her the location of the road poneglyph that was deep underground Wano Castle, along with some information about where Pluton was. What is left for the Straw Hats is to find that final road poneglyph that was at one time in the Sea Forest next to Joy Boy's apology message on Fishman Island. But after 25 years, this poneglyph has been lost and its actual location is unknown. Now currently, the Straw Hats are heading to an unknown island, which even they don't seem to have any knowledge about, but it might just be the starting point for the next island where a new arc will begin. So it's very likely that this island doesn't have much importance, but the next one that they will go to after that will probably be the beginning of a new arc. An island which during the work of One Piece was said several times in various circumstances, and this island of course is Elbaf, the Island of Giants. Now throughout the story of One Piece, we've had several characters make mention of this island, but we know next to nothing about it. But through the work of Big Mom, Shanks, Roger, among other pilots and Marines, they've really always underscored the importance of this island. We've also come across giants that were born in Elbaf, or at least descended from that island, but made their way out into the world. So it's very likely that the Straw Hats will need to go to Elbaf after the events in Wano. You see, in Elbaf, there's the possibility that there are many hidden things that only the giants know about, such as treasure, power, and even the last long-lost road poneglyph. There have been several myths surrounding this island of giants, one of which is about a deity who punishes those who do not show themselves worthy in combat, but shows their favor to the brave and powerful giants that win every battle. Now, we don't know much more about the culture of Elbaf giants, but they do seem to have a really deep belief in gods, and they even have a belief in the existence of the sun god Nika, proving that they do believe in more than one deity. Shanks has also shown some mysterious connection to these giants as well, and during the past, we saw that Roger gave up his life as a pirate after having to manage to find the One Piece, and when he says something to Shanks, many have believed that it is related to the Giants Island. Another character who has seemed to have some deep connections with the Giants of Elbaf, of course, is Big Mom, for she was born in Elbaf and also seems to know some very important things about the Giants' culture. But because she was just a young girl while living in Elbaf and was then kind of exiled from the island, she couldn't acquire all the knowledge about the Giants. But it's clear that she's been recognized by the strength that she has. After all, it was Big Mom herself that said that in order to defeat Shanks, it would not only require all of the pirates of her crew, but as well as the Giants of Elbaf to even have a chance of beating Shanks, proving that she knows very well about the strength of these warriors, as well as talking about the strength of Shanks. However, Shanks has so far not shown to have much of a connection with the Giants, at least directly. directly, besides having maybe received some information from Roger about these warriors in the past. So we don't yet know if Shanks has already gone to Elbaf, or if he knows something really important in which he could be instrumental in getting the One Piece. There's even a strong possibility that Luffy and the Straw Hats will go to Elbaf to get important information about the One Piece, and possibly get more information from Shanks through the Giants and his connection to them. For as we've said, Shanks may have a deep connection with Elbaf, and these Giants may know something important that Shanks would like to keep hidden. So if the Straw Hats go to this island, it's very likely that we're going to get some ultimately important information that not only is going to help them continue their journey, but also fill in some very big holes and questions we've had about our story. And if the final road poneglyph really is in Elbaf, it's pretty likely that the Straw Hats may have some challenges getting to it, because just like Wano, Elbaf is a place totally unknown to the world. And just like Wano, it is considered to be isolated from the world. In fact, Elbaf has no protection from the world government, and the citizens of this place protected at all cost, which means that there may be something very important there. So it may not be that easy where the Straw Hats can just walk in or even enter Elbaf. The Giants of Elbaf might even protect the road poneglyph with the highest priority, as this might be the biggest treasure that the Giants possess. So it's very likely that Luffy and his companions are gonna have to obtain it in a peaceful way. Because if you think about it, if the Giants allowed anybody to just enter easily in order to see the road poneglyph, there are many other pirates who would have already gotten a picture of it, or at least a etching of it. But as we've seen, not even Big Mom or Kaido have any information about this road poneglyph or about Elbaf, period. And in addition to that, it's very likely that in Elbaf, Luffy may have to face the Giants in order to see the road poneglyph. In fact, like some kind of test of strength, because they do have a culture that the strongest are rewarded. So there may be a possibility that in Elbaf there are powerful giants, and in order to be recognized, one needs to prove it to them. And based on what we've seen from the giants we've come across within our story, it's likely that their level of strength may be very similar to that of a Yonko, because we've never really seen a fully fledged giant warrior, just those that have been born in other places. The only ones that we ever saw that were actually born and trained in Elbaf that ever appeared were of course Dory and Broggy, and during the arc in which they appeared, we see that they were easily able to defeat a Sea King. And when they did that, it wasn't even like they hit him with one of their actual weapons. It was simply from the air pressure that came off of their swords when they clashed, and that easily pierced the head of a Sea King, which shows that the true warriors of Elbaf are extremely powerful. Now, even though Luffy has achieved incredible power, especially with his awakening and obtaining Gear 5th, it still may be difficult to stand up against the giants of Elbaf, because some of them may actually possess devil fruit powers. Through a Zoan fruit particularly, any Elbaf giant would become incredibly stronger, which would allow them to not only apply their strength inside through their hybrid form, but maybe even give a full transformation something in even more powerful games, and something that could become a really big problem for Luffy. Just think about what we saw in this most recent fight against Kaido. He was only really able to take him out because Kaido was finally tired after all of the intense fighting that Luffy and all of his allies had managed to do. And Luffy was only able to do that after he was able to recover his energy in exchange for his vitality. But hopefully this exchange may not be required, because Luffy may have to stay in combat for much longer than he did with Kaido. Because as the giants of Elbaf have the strength and endurance similar to Kaido's, and may even more, this might be quite complicated for Luffy to defeat them. Because once again, just like we said, not even the other Yonkos dared to invade Elbaf to be able to defeat giants and obtain the riches they possessed on this island, which means that the giants are quite strong physically, being highly trained warriors of combat. But another exciting prospect is that during this adventure to Elbaf, the Straw Hats will be able to further improve their skills, especially Luffy, who just recently awakened his fruit and obtained Gear 5th. So with this newly awakened power, Luffy still has much to learn about how to use the full potential of his fruit. And not only that, we also have to consider the fact that he was in what we might consider a hybrid form, so we may not have even seen Luffy fully unlock his Zoan fruit. And if you think about it, Elbaf might be the best place to be able to perfect your skills. As we know, we're entering the final saga of One Piece, so there's gonna be about 3 to 5 arcs left for One Piece to finally come to an end. So at this point moving forward, it's gonna be necessary for Luffy to become much stronger and acquire even further greater powers, so that he can defeat all the enemies that are gonna prevent him from not only conquering the One Piece, but bringing the New Dawn to the world. And in Elbaf, there are multiple powerful and very resistant giants, so Luffy would have the ability to strengthen himself through them, and maybe even learn to use new haki, which will be a very useful technique to Luffy in the future. And it's not just Luffy that we'd want to see grow, but the other other Straw Hats as well, who might be able to learn new techniques that will help them become stronger. And also many in the community have speculated that when we go to Elbaf, that is gonna be a final conclusion to Usopp's arc. Because when we met Dorian Broggy so many years ago, it's always been Usopp's dream to go to Elbaf and prove himself to be a great warrior of the sea. So moving forward, everything indicates that they are indeed going to go to Elbaf. Now, whether it's this next island or once they get their bearings of the island afterwards, it's gonna be Elbaf, because this island hides mysteries in which Oda has long left hidden. But now might be the very and most perfect time for the Straw Hats to unravel these mysteries so that they can finally continue their journey and obtain the One Piece. But with all that said, my friends, I'd love to know what you think about it. Where do you think the Straw Hats are off to? And do you think it's gonna be Elbaf, or is it gonna be kind of a pit stop and then we start another arc going to Elbaf? Also, what kind of mysteries do you think Elbaf holds? There have been a few that I've mentioned, and I know that there's more that I probably didn't include. So fill us in. What do you think might be also hidden in Elbaf? Let us know what you think about this in the comments below. But with all that said, I want to thank you, my friends, so much for watching the video all the way up to the very end. Be sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like or hit that red subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I really hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.